ọlọ́jọ́ mi ò ìgbà àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. ọlọ́jọ́ mi ò ìgbà àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. Àgbàgbà inú ìgbà àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. Àgbàgbà inú ìgbà àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. Ọmọdé ìlú o àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. Ọmọdé ìlú o àdúgbà ká tó ṣeré. Ọmọdé bá ti kú bá Olúwa ọ̀nà àlà ire àwọ̀dé. Ọmọdé bá ti kú bá Olúwa ọ̀nà àlà ire àwọ̀dé. Alàgbà bá ti kú bá Olúwa ọ̀nà àlà ire àwọ̀dé. Alàgbà bá ti kú bá Olúwa ọ̀nà àlà ire àwọ̀dé. Ojú bá mo kú bàtúbà mi ṣe. Ojú bá o ìwà ìwà fọmọdé ìlú. Ojú bá o ìwà ìwà bàbá ìlú. Ojú bá o ìwà ojú bá bíbá mi ṣe láyé. Ojú bá o ìwà ìwà bàbá ìlú. Ojú bá o ìwà ọlọ́run ìbà ìwà fọmọdé ìlú. Ojú bá o ìwà ìwà bàbá ìlú. Ìbà ọlọ́run ojú bá o ìwà ọmọdé ìlú ṣe. Ojú bá bíbá mi ṣe. Ìbà ọlọ́run ìbẹ̀ tó tẹ́ mojú bá bíbá ṣe. Bọ́mọdé bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé. Bálàgbà bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé. Bọ́mọdé bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé. Bálàgbà bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé. Mojúbà kígbà mi ṣe. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà kígbà mi ṣe. Ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà kígbà mi ṣe. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Ìbàkíbà mi ṣe dá. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà kíbà mi ṣe. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà. Mojúbà kíbà mi ṣe láyé. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà. Ìbà Ọlọ́run ìbà ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Ìbà Ọlọ́run ìbà o ìbà. Mojúbà o fọ́mọdé ìlú ṣe. Mojúbà o ìbà. Mojúbà kíbà mi ṣe o. Ìbà fọ́mọdé ìlú. Mojúbà o ìbà, ìbà bàbá ìlú. Ìbà Ọlọ́run ìbà tó jẹ́ mojúbà kíbà ṣe.
Yes, so good evening, my people. I welcome you to another special edition of the Jagbajantis Show. It's a pleasure to have you on the show with me tonight. This show is brought to you live by Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in the whole of the United Kingdom. On say Yeti. How has your week been? Hope your week has been bizarre. Hope your week has been zazuze. Shoze. I greet you wherever you're connecting from.
Bọ́mọdé bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé.
Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. Mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin o.
Bálàgbà bá
Mo
ti
kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ládéládé, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìjòyè tó ń bẹ níkàlẹ̀. Òjò ni mímí ò bẹ́nikẹ́ni ṣọ̀tá o.
Bọ́mọdé bá ti júbà f'Olúwa, ọ̀nà àlà ire á wọlé.
As you're coming in, please help me share this show on your platform. Help me share this on your stories. Let people know that something special is going on this platform tonight. Invite somebody to invite another somebody, for that somebody to bring somebody else on the show. Ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe pẹ̀lú MMM. You got it? If you don't got it, then forget about it. But I know you got it. Ojúbà Ìdùmarè ọba mi tó ní kọ́kọ́rọ́ ọjọ́ lọ́wọ́ ojú kùtùkùtù Fáṣọlá búra ọba mi jìnwìnjìnwìn ìlẹ̀kẹ̀. Agbọ́nrẹ́ kọjá ọgbọ́n ìbà ẹni náà tí kì í bẹ́nikẹ́ni ṣàpapín ògo Ọ̀ọ̀ni àgbà tó ní gbogbo lẹ̀kílẹ̀. Òun ló lèdè, òun ló lọ̀rọ̀, òun ló lẹ̀bùn, òun ló lẹ̀mí mi. Ikọ̀ lèmi o. Iṣẹ́ tá a bá sì fi ran ikọ̀ kì í pa ikọ̀. Ojúbà orí mi náà, orí owó, orí ọlá, orí oyè, orí òkìkí, orí tó ń gbè mí níjà nígbà gbogbo. Ìbà gbogbo ẹ̀yin sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lórí ètò àbí tí ó máa wo ètò tó bá yá, ẹ jẹ́ ó yẹ mí kalẹ̀ o. The show is sponsored by Yeti's Kitchen. Yeti's Kitchen is an Afro-British restaurant located in the city of Manchester, 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester. M30-0QN, and the telephones are 0161 706 0062 or 074 6035 3448. And you can also reach them at food@yetiskitchen.com. Right, if you are just joining me on the show, I welcome you. Just say hi so I can give you a shout out. Gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lẹ̀mí ń gbé wa o, signal fẹ́ clear. Ṣùgbọ́n ìtọ́ bá ti fi hàn mí, màá mọ̀ pé ní báyìí wà lórí ètò. Otherwise, just say hi and let me welcome you specially. Don't come alone on this show, ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni o. Mo rí ẹ o. Alájà tó ń ṣe ọ̀bọ̀kún Fálájà lámì, Abíọ́lá Akínọlá, I see you. Welcome and thank you for joining the show tonight. Aniki Shaya, I see you. Olùtọ́jú alóore. I welcome you to the show tonight. Great to have you on the show. Right, let me quickly get to the commercial room and shout out our sponsor. And when we return, we will get straight into the show. I have somebody special on the show tonight. Mumbo.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, takeaway or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti Lego play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address morning, 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M30-0QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
Yes, so thank you very much. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé yẹn, ibi tí àwọn ṣàbá ní kẹ́ jókòó sí ní kẹ́ jókòó sí o. Ẹ má làgídí o. I see you, BC Arogues, my sister. Great to have you back on the show. Justice Funmi Alayo, ìyàwó Olówó Ṣíbí. Great to have you on the show tonight as well. Thank you for connecting. ẹ̀mí sọ fún mi wípé my sister Fọláṣadé Malabi is also on the show. Àwọn kan ra dákẹ́ wọn ra wà ní kọ́nà kan ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ẹ̀mí ti gbé wá fún mi wípé wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀. I see you, my sister. Right. Special thanks to Yeti's Kitchen for sponsoring this show. And you can contact them for all your food needs. If you have events that you need catering for, birthday, wedding, kiddies parties, garden party, office get-together for small chops and things like that, just reach out to them. Yeti's Kitchen is one phone call away. And wherever you are in the part of United Kingdom, they can deliver to you. Also, for those of you who run maybe busy schedules, busy lifestyle, and you don't have time to cook, they can jẹ sandwich tútù kiri gbogbo ẹgbẹ̀gbẹ́ ògiri ọ́fíìsì yìí. You can reach out to Yeti's Kitchen and order for like bulk food. Wọ́n bá ẹ ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ tí irú ti já, tí gbogbo àwọn tí edé ń yọrí ń bí tí pọ̀nmọ́ ń yọrí ń bẹ̀, you know, and you can dish it in your freezer and, you know, eat at your own convenience. There's no type of stew that you require that they can't make for you. Tọ́jú ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ òun tẹ́yẹ bá jẹ lẹ́yẹ máa gbé fò. Also, oúnjẹ nǹkan kọ́ ló ń ṣe o. You know, the CEO of the company also is a publisher, and she has released 2 books at the moment. The first one is African Vegan, and that's the book that contains healthy food recipes that you can follow and prepare yourself at home. Also, the other book is how to set up a food business. It's a loaded book that can, you know, help you or anyone around you that you think has a flair for this type of business. Perhaps they've been doing it, you know, in one corner, and they want to, you know, take the next step, but they don't really know how to go about it, you know, registration and other issues. This book would help you a lot. It can also make a very good gift, you know. Gbogbo singlet àti handkerchief tẹ́ máa ń rà lọ́dọọdún yẹn, you can actually, you know, get this book for somebody that you know loves cooking. You might be sowing a seed in their lives, you know. So just reach out to them or check their website and get a copy of the book. What do I have for us tonight to discuss? Our topic for discussion tonight is what I titled The Burdens of a Creative Entrepreneur. Right. Ọlọ́kùnrin tó ń sun rárá fọkùnrin ẹgbẹ́ àkọ́ṣẹ́ ló ń ṣe o. This topic might sound, you know, maybe simple or what was the big deal about it? But just find somewhere comfortable to sit as we unburden. Ẹrù là ń rù. You know, I belong to, this is a very touchy topic for me, and but I won't be discussing it alone. I have another loaded individual on the show that will be joining me as we, you know, break down this topic. You might be wondering, why is it for me? I'm not a creative. I'm not an entrepreneur. Yes, you need to know this as well. Perhaps you have a partner who is a creative, and you seem not to understand them. You don't know what's going on with them. you think they're wasting their time in things they're doing, and you just want them to get serious with their lives. You need to understand how creative people are wired. Perhaps you have somebody who, has set up their own business, and from your own point, standpoint, you always say, Baba, you suppose done. Gbogbo àwọn suppose done yìí tó wà lẹ́yìn ẹ̀fà jèjì lọ. Do you even understand the struggles of entrepreneurship? Do you know what it's all about? You need to listen tonight and hear, undiluted truth from the mouth of people who are really in the middle of the sea. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹni tó bá ti dójú ogun ló lè ròyìn ogun? If you have not been there, you can't talk about it. So you might also be, at the edge of, maybe setting up your own private business. Our motivational speaker ti pa ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nínú yín. Yeah, you can't do 9 to 5 and survive. You can't do 9 to 5 and make it in life. You cannot be a billionaire for 9 to 5. You need to start your own business. You need to start it there. I started my own restaurant with 1 grain of rice. Before you go and resign, this show will help you a lot. Ó máa better kó farabalẹ̀, kó gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń lọ ń gbòòrò kó tó lọ torí bọ̀ o. Kò ní kàgbákò. So, as you can pick up from the title, I've tried to fuse 2 things into one. The life of a creative and the life of an entrepreneur. So they're two things, but it's even crazy when you find somebody who is combining both. A creative person that is also an entrepreneur. Kò easy fa. And you will know what it's all about as I proceed. But before I bring on my guest for tonight, it's somebody that you all know so well. She's been on this show before, and the last time she was here, we all enjoyed her. She left us speechless. I think that was when we discussed about homeschooling versus the mainstream education, and it was a very, very enlightening show. So tonight, she's also in the best position to join me in this discussion. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò kí ń bá àwọn tó rí wọn kú, mi kí ń bá wọn rìn. Àwọn lọ́pọlọ ẹ̀dá máa ń bá rìn. And tonight, we're going to get real. We're going to get real because it's a topic that we're both in it, and at several points or several times we've had discussions that we open up on our struggles. So and we're real individuals. We won't come here and come and bamboozle you or lamba you. I see more people are coming in. My brother Toluwalashe Waterton, thanks for connecting tonight. Ẹ̀bùn ọmọ ìyá mi Agbayi, good to have you on the show. Ẹ̀gbọ́n, ẹ lọ po coffee o. Ẹ lọ po coffee kẹ́ gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ẹ má fi milk, ẹ má fi sugar sí. Ẹ jẹ́ nǹkan yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa po. 4 teaspoons of coffee. Kẹ́ wá fi Red Bull, kẹ́ kàn fi dilute. Ẹ kàn fi Red Bull, kẹ́ kàn fi dilute. Oni kẹ́ ọ̀rá gbé sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan ra máa dàjẹ́. Ó ti yé yín bẹ́yẹn. Ẹ má jẹ́ n sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Iṣẹ́ ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ leléyìí o. Rẹ́sípì tí mo fún yín yẹn ni kẹ́ ẹ tẹ̀lé. Ẹ máa wà pa. Red label kọ́ o. Mr. Magic Finger, Red Bull. No red label o, Red Bull. Kọ́ra fi dilute coffee yẹn. Ó ní kọ́ra fi pò ó. Cold coffee ni kì í ṣe coffee tán olómi gbóná. Kẹwàá ra balance. Kẹ máa gbọ́ ètò lọ. Yeah, right. So as I was saying, before I bring on my guest, let me just do a bit of background introduction to these two point here. Who is a creative person? A creative person is someone that has the unique ability to invent or develop an original idea. You know, somebody that works from a blank canvas until you see the real thing that they've created. And you can find them in different areas or fields. They are in art, music, they are in design, they are in engineering. Every walks of life. Is somebody that can conceive an idea and walk through till it becomes a finished product. That is a creative. And then an entrepreneur is somebody that has their own personal business. Katakara, they're not working for anybody. They are the one running. It's like a one-man show. They are the CEO, accountant, HR person, sales staff, marketer, IT guy, manager. They do everything. They are the one that will email a client and say, "Oh, we'll get back to you. I'll ask my secretary to get back to you." And they are the secretary that will still get back to the person. They are the one that will make a post on the social media and say, "We wish our CEO a happy birthday." Ejo, oh, wala too much. So that's basically all you need to know about the definition of these two key terms. And then gbogbo nǹkan yòókù tó rọ̀ mọ́, we will break everything down as we progress on the show. So the show is going to be informative. It's going to help somebody who has been struggling with this. We have people who are in this situation at the moment. We have people who are about, to take the plunge. And also we have people who have partners that are, in this situation, and they don't seem to understand them. So ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé àbí kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan. Ẹ ṣáà make sure pé ntẹ́ jókòólé àbí tó jókòólé yín ò sharp jù. And as we go on the show. Yes, my sister. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the CEO of Yeti's Kitchen, Yeti Tabai. She's here on the show with me. Hello, my sister. Are you there? Hello? Hello? She can't hear me, I think. Hello, my sister. Okay, I think she's She's working.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, she can hear me now. Yes.
Okay, sorry
How
about
are
that.
you?
I'm very well. How's everyone doing? Good evening, my people. Thank you very much for bringing
Can
me.
you hear her loud and clear? Let me know if our audio is clear. I can hear her clearly from here. Let me know if our audio is Zazuze
Oh,
or
problem.
if it is bizarre. Is our audio Zazuze or bizarre? Let me know. Okay. Yes, I think your audio is there. So you can go on. Fire on. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Friday. I think it's Friday where we are.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. It is.
In the creative world, I don't think we know what day of the week it is. We just kind
we,
of
we,
wake up and
we don't keep days.
nope.
Gbogbo ẹ̀ ń já lura wọn ni. No calendar, no date, nothing.
At all. At all.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it's been a while that we had you on the show. But obviously, anytime you turn up, you leave us with something to enjoy for a very long time. And I hope tonight's show is also going to be like that. It's not going to be anything less.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Great. So I've tried to, give a brief definition of who a creative is and who an entrepreneur is. Do you have anything to add to these definitions I gave? I'm not sure if you heard me. Perhaps you want
I
me to
actually did.
repeat what
I did.
you
I,
okay.
I
So
believe you
you
did.
have you have anything else to add to the definitions I gave? Maybe they're too simple.
I don't know. I think you've spoken very well. As
Okay.
usual,
Hmm.
you always give a good intro to the topic.
Hmm.
But I think what I would typically say is there's a thin line between madness and entrepreneurship, and there's a thin line between madness and being a creative, because
Okay.
those are the two sides to life. It's either you're not a creative or
Hmm.
you are a creative. And
Hmm.
I guess the typical question that we get asked is, can you teach somebody to be creative?
Hmm.
Is it something you can sit somebody down and say, okay, well, here are the skills, here's the flair, here's the passion, this is what you need to do to become a creative? I don't know. I don't know if it's a skill that can be
Hmm.
taught, because it's either you have it or you don't. But
Hmm.
my definition of it would be, those on the outside who are not creative typically look at us as crazy people.
Hmm.
We are literally in our own world, and our own world works in different facets.
Hmm.
All the wires in our in our world are connected, versus people that are outside of our world follow the rules, and lines are not connected. And it's
Hmm.
pretty weird looking at their side of the world, and people on the other side looking into our world think we're crazy.
Hmm.
But like they say, there's a method to the madness. So I think the only
Okay.
thing I would add to
Hmm.
your definition is, there's a thin line between a creative person and a mad person. And oftentimes we dabble on both sides. And I don't think there's actually a rule to say, perhaps I'm mad.
Hmm.
When we think about what's that famous artist, the famous painter, I think it's Michelangelo, or yeah. When we think about the famous artists that painted, when they were painting, everybody
Hmm.
thought it was trash.
Hmm.
Everybody thought it was ludicrous because they didn't paint within the lines.
Hmm.
And funny enough now, when we look back at their paintings, it's in museums and stuff. So yeah, like they say, now from clap with the enter dance. So everyone we are clapping as creatives,
Hmm.
everybody's like, this is stupid. These people go and sit down.
Hmm.
But oftentimes, unfortunately, it's unto the death of a creative that their craziness is appreciated, unfortunately.
Hmm.
That's number one. When we think about Afrobeats now, when Afrobeats originated, We thought Fela was stupid. We thought he was crazy. We thought he was, we're wearing pants and you're being on stage. Are you mad? What do you think you are? You
Mm,
know? But now it's suddenly looked upon as amazing to wear pants and think you can get on stage and sing Afrobeat. So everybody thought he was stupid, and when he was constantly getting in jail, everybody thought yes, he should be put in there. But now we're celebrating him, unfortunately, when he's not here to be celebrated. So
mm,
yes,
mm,
so unfortunately, like they say, there's so many things. It's almost like a curse and a blessing, really.
mm, mm, mm,
I think that's what it is. We don't choose our path as creatives. It's
mm,
either it's handed to you and you have to work it. And
mm,
unfortunately, in the process of working it, you could lay yourself on the cross and kill yourself. And I don't
mm,
mean suicidal. I just mean you might never find the solution to your problem, considering we all have
mm,
a problem we're trying to
mm,
solve. We're trying to find
mm,
the answer to the talent we've been given, you know?
mm,
So
mm,
you might fall on your sword as a creative, or you might end up wielding your sword as a creative.
mm.
So you
You,
we've
you,
all been
you,
handed
you,
we've all been handed a sword. Question
mm,
is, what do we do with it? Some people
mm,
find good use of the sword they've been given, as
mm,
some people fall on it and
mm,
end up dying by reason
mm.
of the sword. Um, yeah. So
Okay, you know what? Uh, let's let's calm down. Okay. Um, I want us to. You've said. Look, we if it was me and you having the discussion, right? We can as well end the show now. Because you said a lot that we can possibly break down in 2 hours, right? But for the listening pleasure of or for the benefit of our listeners, we need to take it in headings, right? So that they will understand each section as we break it down. You've said a lot that I can just you've made you've talked. I can bring out like nine different topics from everything you've said so far, right? But we need to take it one by one so that the people that are listening to us can understand what we're going through.
Mhm.
And then somebody made a request that I should please help them dilute the English.
Ewo.
Tó dà pé wọ́n struggle àti lè gbé mi.
No wahala. I'm here for you people, man. I'm here for you
So
people.
so take note of that. So let's start from here, right? Okay. I want us to look at um this problem with creativity and survival. Let's start from that.
Those are very two extremes. Let's deal
Yes.
with the problem first before we talk about survival.
No. That I want us to address it from that point.
Mm.
Because look, everybody who gets up from their home to go and work, majority don't work because they love the work. They're working because of economic survival. And the problem with creative is this: we work or we do things we do just because we love it, and just like you said, it's a burden placed on us. Oftentimes, we don't work from the point of view of a reward, but we have to survive. There are bills to pay. For people who have families, they have families to cater for. And that is why so many people who are creatives or who have the desire to set up a business in the line of what they love to do, can further ahead, because it's either people around them are telling them, ọ̀gbẹ́ni o jẹ́ waste time ààrẹ kó lọ get serious with your life, gbogbo eléyìí ò yọ nǹkan kan o, and go and imagine an artist that wants to blow. You know how long it takes for an artist to blow, and how much is involved in terms of PR, just for you to get that visibility. And then you want to die in studio, do all these things, and people around you are telling you, "Oga, like music no be your thing, or just watch and things like that." And we have so many people who have, out of frustration, just come back to regular jobs. And we have people who, are like loners. People around them have left them to their own mischief, or whatever you can call it, and say, "Wá ṣe wù ẹ́ kó ṣe ayé ara ẹ̀," because you are just wasting your life. And then lastly, we have people who will do all this creativity, invention, and everything, and until they die, they are not appreciated. They don't earn nothing from it. But then when they go, that's when people will start appreciating their work, and to be selling for millions, and the money will be going to their estate, or people who never even suffered, or the extent of pain they went through. So let's take it from that point. Creativity and survival. How do we balance it? I struggle with this as well, until I found a fit. But many people are not able to find that fit. It's either this or that. What's your own view?
It's something I struggle with as well, and I'm not sure if I still have the answer,
Hmm.
because when I look at many other creatives that I could draw strength from, um, they have still not found the balance. Because I wish we have a world for creatives, that like somewhere that creatives can go and coexist
Hmm.
and survive, like a bank for creatives, a little social economic system, really, where we can get mortgages because you're creative. You can go to the bank and borrow money because you're creative. You know, if we have our own little world, then I can answer the question of how we balance both, in terms of when we now come out of our own world and we
Hmm.
come into the typical world, then we can then coexist with other humans who are not creative.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, we're in this bubble in our heads as creatives, and we're trying to balance. It's almost like trying to be normal in a world that's abnormal.
Hmm.
Are you seeing what I mean? It's
Hmm.
it's like being in a society that nobody speaks your language. You know, so the
Hmm.
minute you step outside of your house, you're speaking a language, and everybody's looking at you like, "But you don't speak English. Which one you they talk?" You understand?
Hmm.
So when you say how do you balance it, for myself, it's something I've always struggled with, because every now and then I want to hit the sack and say, you know what, forget all this Yeti's kitchen, forget all the music, because I also do music as well. Forget the music I'm doing, forget all this publishing of stupid books. Let and get a 9 to 5. But then I get to the 9 to 5 and I look at everybody like they're crazy. But
Hmm.
perhaps $1 million question. You know, I look at them on the trains in the morning. I'm like, you people are just legit. And I'm not looking at them in a bad way, but I'm just saying, why? You know,
Hmm.
why is everybody doing this?
Hmm.
You know, and I guess I'm asking why, because if I saw people were genuinely happy doing what they're doing, then I
Hmm.
wouldn't have a why.
Hmm.
But you're doing it. You got road rage. You've got high blood pressure whilst you're doing it. Of course, you've got your bills, but I guess I'm in a world where just following the rules of 9 to 5 and just turning up at work is very suffocating for me
Hmm.
as a creative. So for
Hmm.
me, how do I balance both? Yes, you've got your bills to pay. So that's why I have something like Yeti's Kitchen.
Hmm.
And I really do wish Yeti's Kitchen did cover my bills,
Mm,
because we're in a very in a world that moves very fast.
mm,
Um, so if I was to choose a business that actually pays my bills, it wouldn't be Yeti's Kitchen. It would
mm,
be a business like selling fish and chips, or a business that sells milkshakes and stuff, because or fries, like
mm,
opening a McDonald's franchise. So
mm.
what I'm trying to say is, even in choosing Yeti's Kitchen as a means of paying my bills, it's
That's
still
another deep end you've run into.
it's still a very it's the decision of choosing Yeti's Kitchen was still on the bedrock of being a creative, rather than, hello auntie, which one will actually pay bills immediately.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to choose something as a creative that was meant to make money immediately, like I said, I would have chosen any of this get rich quick businesses. But
Mm,
as you can see, so many decisions that we as creatives tell ourselves that, don't worry, I'm following the rules of society, I'll get this job, 1 + 1 = 2. We tell ourselves that, but suddenly, after 2 months of doing that 1 + 1 job, we start slipping our creative flair into the job, and then the employer is looking like you like, hello auntie, chile laron any, like, what are
mm-hmm.
you doing? We
Mm.
only told you to put the fries, or we only told you to create a business case. If you're a business analyst, we told you to create a business case, send it to your project manager, let it get approved. Why are you putting funny colors in your process map? Why are you decorating the whole thing with, and then you're beginning to add your creative flair to stuff that they did not send you message to add.
Mm.
So for me, finding the balance is a struggle. And I find that whatever we do in the name of just getting along in society as a creative, whatever we end up doing, our creative flair slips into it. And once more, it's not appreciated by those who are not creative. And then we get frustrated that our work is not being appreciated on the outside. Then we slip back into, what, I'll focus on my creative self, and I'll try and make my creative self make money. And
Mm.
then you're frustrated that you are not making money. And then you go back into the 9 to 5 or whatever else you think is making money. And then you're not appreciated on that side. So it's constantly back and forth, really. So I don't know. I don't know how to balance it.
Right. You've really been honest with your response. Like I mentioned earlier, I struggle with this as well, and and all at the point it almost sent me to the other side of the world. Um, but eventually, what I did was to get something um that um would offer me like something basic to run my life, but I had to get this in a way that it doesn't tie my time to
Hello?
somewhere else. Because as a creative, you need to own your time.
Hmm.
You need to be able to decide when you sleep, when you wake up, when you do things, and we're spontaneous like that. We're not wired like every other person. We're not wired to obey rules, go to the station at this time, go to lunch at this time, do. No, 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 no. That is not how we're wired to work. So and for you to be able to function in this in the way you are set up, you need to own your time, so that situation is not the one dragging you here and there. You are the one like fixing things into your day. So there needs to be that understanding that you need to find something that frees up your time, and as well guarantees some you know basic income for you to run your life. Because the truth is, um creativity don't don't bring immediate reward, if it brings at all in your lifetime. Because examples abound. you know we have so many talented artists who struggled to sell 4 pieces of their artwork in their lifetime. Four. Four. But after they died, those artworks are selling in excess of in millions. People are buying one artwork for 3.5 million. People are auctioning it and things like that. But Koduro Jenu Ogwe Otilo. So, but like I said earlier, we are just wired to do. It's after we've done and it's time to pay bills, then you start thinking, we don't work from the point of view of waiting you go give me, waiting I go get. No, we just want to create. That is how we get our eyes. Like somebody on drugs. You are high when you are creating, and immediately you finish that, you go down almost to the point of depression. And you start thinking of what else do I need to do and things like that. And everything you see, you just want to do. You have that lofty ideas and everything like that. And oftentimes you jump into it, it doesn't work. It's just like an artist painting. You know how many canvas they shred to pieces, how many drawing papers they tear down before they get that final painting that you all admire. A lot goes on behind the scene. So for every creative listening to me, or an entrepreneur listening to me, or upcoming creative entrepreneur, you need to have something that is stable, something that would on the side give you something stable monthly to be able to afford your bills. This is the only way out. Keep frustration mark pie, so that when what you are cooking is not yet done, at least you can still carry on with your life. Right. Now let's move to another, thought that I've been having. Should, because I've seen this a lot. So the question will be in two parts. Should creatives even think of setting up families? That's one question. Two, if they will, at what time of their life or creative existence should they do this? And I know why I'm asking this question, and I hope you know as well.
Sorry, if you don't
I
mind saying the
said-
question again. I lost you in the beginning.
Sorry?
If you don't mind saying the question again, I lost you in the
Okay.
beginning.
I said, should creatives think of setting up a family? And if yes, at what point or at what time of their life should they do this? And I said, I hope you know why I'm asking, because I know why I'm asking the question. I hope you know why I'm asking as well.
Well,
I'm trying to build up. This will lead us to the next point we'll be discussing. So over to you.
I think I don't even know if it's a popular saying or if it's actually backed up by statistics. They normally say poets, and I believe poets fall into the category of creatives. They say poets are very bad lovers. And I think that answers your question. When it comes to the writing and the explanation or the documentation of love, or like I said, relationships, getting married, all that stuff, we understand it. If we were to teach you, or we would make great marriage counselors and all that, but living in it,
we hardly make great partners, is it?
exactly, but living in it as a partner, I'm not sure.
Why? What's the problem?
Rules, really, rules. Because if
People
you think
need to
about it,
understand what
relationship,
is the problem.
marriage, everything is rules, isn't it?
Okay. So it's not about responsibility, it's the rules.
Oh no, it's not responsibility because as a creative, you take pride in your your work.
Mm,
So you'd also take pride in your tribe when you start building your tribe.
mm,
But by the time you start bringing, beg your pardon, by the time you start bringing the rules of you must love me like this, you must
mhm,
put me on your Instagram, you must post
mhm,
about me, you must you must give me your password to your phone. um we must go for date night. Date night must be in this form because I saw
mm,
somebody, or what was it, is it Wedding Digest or is it Wedding Nigeria, that they're always posting every day how people propose on the boats,
mm,
propose, and you are
mm,
looking for those kind of things. And
mm,
no, those things are not what we value as creatives.
mm,
um so that will cause a problem.
mm,
Except you marry a fellow creative, then both of you will have problems because who's going to pay the bills if both of you are dreaming?
mm. Because I look at people who are in the creative industry where um, apart from what they do mentally tasking, they also have to be physically not available, right? And then you have partners that don't understand the nature of what you do, or maybe understand but don't know that this is how it's going to be, or they still want their own needs fulfilled at the same time. It's a big struggle. You have partners who don't understand that if you're an actor and they give you a script where you have to, you know, kiss or smoosh somebody else on set, it's just work. And then you come home and they say, "Ṣé gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ ló ń tó jókòó tí tó ń ṣe náà nìyẹn torí ẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé fẹ́ jẹ́ actor àbí tó ń tan mú ọlọ́mú kiri tó ń kíìsì kiri gbogbo òṣì tó fẹ́ máa ṣe kiri nìyẹn." And if this is all you hear all the time, it's hell for you. Because how many times do you want to explain that this is just your job? You finish with that person, you just met on set, ó kàkú dẹ̀ ti bá tiẹ̀ lọ kò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. When I was in Ilorin, I once attended a lecture of art student, a theater art, and it was there I was informed that that particular test they were having, mama yẹn kàn jókòó ní wọ́n dẹ̀ máa fún wọn ní role tó máa play. The test they were actually having is such that it's a romantic scene, but ara ò gbọ́dọ̀ move. Tára ẹ bá ti move, ó ti fail the test yẹn. Ìyá yẹn tó ń wò. That's what she's marking. So you must be able to disconnect your emotions from what you're doing. These are some of the trainings they've been given. But then tó ń fẹ́ kò understand pé nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ rè. So in a relationship, the person requires you to be there. And then one location for 3 weeks. Or you as an upcoming artist tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ fẹ́ blow, but ó ti lọ ní partner. Studio ló máa wà most of your life. Àwọn ń retí ẹ̀ ń lé pé ó ní wálé ni. Ibẹ̀ ló máa jókòó sí okú kọrin náà látọjọ́ ẹ̀ náà àti kankan ò jáde, kò sẹ́ni tó mú ẹ̀gbá kan. You know? That is why I think, or that's why I'm asking this question. Should they wait until they blow before they think of setting up families? Or they should not even venture into it at all? Or find somebody who is actually in the creative world themselves that understand these things and that would know pé wá tẹ́lẹ̀ bá ń kọ̀wé ẹ lè má rí ń tà fún 6 months tó bá fẹ́ publish ìwé because ó need all concentration.
Yeah.
But family demands the same level of attention or time that your creativity also demands. So how do you balance this?
For me, I think when it comes to, because at the end of the day, relationships is about love. which is totally, I would like to think it's separate from being creative, because until you set the foundation of love and understanding, communication, all those things that are required for a great relationship,
Hmm.
then we now put the layer of who you are outside of your relationship, which is now your work or your creative flair or whatever else you are outside of a lover.
Hmm.
It's very important that you I would suggest that the person finds somebody that understands them even before they blow, because when you blow, the what I call it, the pool becomes thinner. You know, you
Okay,
can
so
hardly
let,
meet each
let,
other.
let me ask you to, expand on that. So when you say
Mm,
find somebody,
mm,
what is it? Find somebody that you sit down and say, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni, wá Italian league mo ṣì gbá o, struggle wà ń bẹ̀ gan o.
mm.
This is what I want to do. This is what, is it going to details in terms of explaining what is involved? You won't be at home, you won't be there, or find somebody how?
Because if you find somebody, yes, because you the person would know you from the get go, right?
Okay, okay.
Versus somebody who's not been there from the beginning of you trying to get the first contract, trying to get the first audition. Somebody who's not been there from the get go, and
Mm,
I mean somebody who's not creative, because obviously
mm,
if you get to find somebody who's creative, then there's not much explaining to do.
mm,
I'm talking about meeting somebody who's not in the creative space, and you find somebody who's not in your world.
mm,
That kind of person, definitely you'd need to have the conversation to say, you know what, this is the journey of who I am. I'm a creative, and this is what the future possibly holds.
mm,
You would need to have that conversation. But the thing is, like I said in the beginning, you are unfortunately speaking a different language to that person.
mm,
So even if you like, or you sit down, you explain, no, this is what the future holds, or sometimes I'll be at home, sometimes I won't be at home. Because you're speaking a different language to that person, the person will be looking at you and say, ah, because of love now, they will agree with you and say, yes, no problem, I understand, no problem, I
mm,
love you.
mm.
Don't worry, I will hold your hands through thick and thin.
But
But
along the way, ìlú máa
exactly,
yí orí máa
when it now
change.
actually starts happening,
Mm,
and you are not at home and stuff, they'll
mm,
start telling you, hello, hello, this is not how the plan is. Oh, I'm looking on Instagram, I'm seeing people doing things, and you are not doing exactly what
mm,
I've imagined. And like I said, because they are not from that world, you would
mm,
look like a rebel, like you're rebelling against the standards of relationship. You look like you're rebelling against the standards of marriage, and then you are asking yourself as creative, like I did mention to you, you know, I did
mm,
explain to you exactly how life would be, and
mm.
you know, so that's why you find that a lot of creatives, those that they start with are not those that they end up with. So they
True,
might start off in a
true,
relationship of
true,
nine
true.
years or
Mm,
10 years.
mm,
Suddenly they blow, and when they blow, there's a problem. They can't be together anymore. So the
mm,
question is, of course, that person was there when the person was sleeping in the car for 1 year because they didn't have a roof over their head. The woman was there and everything. And
mm,
then suddenly you blow. Are you saying that the woman was not there and noticing that he's not going to be there or she's not going to be there all the time? The partner was very much aware of where the person is heading.
mm,
But then when the person blows, the person, I would not say the person was holding on to the fragments of, don't worry, this madness that is worrying you one day to calm down. And when the
mm,
person then realizes after 10 years of being in relationship with the creative that the madness is not going away and the person is not exactly fitting into the ideology of what a family is,
mm,
the person then says, you know what, I've seen somebody who's a bit calmer, somebody who's going to be at home all the time. I think I'd rather go for that stability rather than this roller coaster ride for the
mm,
rest of my life. Yeah.
mm, mm. So what about people who is after they've set up the relationship, in the middle of it that they discovered, oh yeah, I want to do this.
Hmm.
So that wasn't, there initially. It is along the line that they discovered, oh yeah, this is who I am. This
The
is this
thing
is
is,
what I want to do.
the thing is
How
nothing in
how
life.
do they go about communicating this to their partners when, you know they've set so many things up, and that would,
Mm.
upset a lot of things that they've set up. So how do they go around this?
Um, it's all about taking what's called baby steps.
Mm,
Like you mentioned before, finding a balance.
mm,
Um, Even regardless of involving your partner and you having to explain to your partner that you want to take a new route in life,
mm,
um, you also need to understand that there's going to be an impact. Imagine if you didn't have a partner, you would also need to introduce yourself to the new you.
mm,
Your bills would have to understand the new you. Your routine would have to understand the new you that you're about to undertake.
mm,
Um, so with yourself, even if you didn't have anybody involved in a relationship with you, you would need to adjust to the new lifestyle. So
mm,
personally, like you said in the beginning of the show, I'll definitely say finding a balance. It's not about, oh, because I want to become a creative within 24 hours, everything I want to set up my Instagram handle. I want to set up my Twitter handle, Mofeshi, LinkedIn, everything just changing everything within 24 hours. Because sometimes as creative, we almost put ourselves under pressure of, oh, I want to have 1,000 followers in the next 6 months. I want to go viral. Oh, this painting that I've done. Oh, if I send it to Davido and I tag him, he will retweet it.
mm,
And we put ourselves under all that pressure, and we've imagined the happy road of how we will blow and how things will go exciting. And then the letdown is terrible because then you're in a spiral that it didn't work out. You've quit your 9 to 5.
mm.
You know how all this aspire to perspire. People
Yeah,
tell you,
to Maguire, to
uh
retire, to refire.
quit your 9 to 5. Tell that boss of yours to stuff it. You can do better yourself. And then you go and start the journey and you realize that, oh, more, it's not adding up. So balance. I'd reiterate what you
Mm,
said. Balance is required when you're on your own, which is,
mm,
what, this would take time. So as I'm juggling my creative world that I'm introducing to my life,
mm,
I would also need to juggle having something steady that can
mm,
possibly
mm,
pay the bills whilst I slowly go full time as a
mm,
creative. Yeah.
mm. Great, great. So it's all about taking that, smooth transition and not rushing things over,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding the responsibilities to Tikora beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that you can't just use one hand to just push all of them away. They still exist, and you are still involved in that as well. So you just have to um, take everything along in gradual steps as you progress into your new path. Um, Fantastic. That is understood. Another one I want us to quickly talk about is, how do you communicate what you're doing, or what you intend to do, or the future you picture in your head, to people around you, to the noise around you, constantly telling you, ọ̀gbẹ́ni ọjọ́ ń lọ, lọ wá nǹkan gidi ṣe, àwọn ò rò pé lè máa fetch anything, because these voices would either break you or you keep them quiet. It's either of the two. And if you have to keep them quiet, you would have to, maybe make enemies, or have to, break some relationships and things like that. Or
Mm-hmm.
you allow those voices to overwhelm you, and then um you succumb to their own expectations.
Mm.
What are your views on this?
Um, Personally, I like to speak from personal. I don't like to speak all this perspire to Maguire, like you said.
Mm. Yeah, we want
Personally,
reality here. We want reality here.
exactly. For me, I don't talk much on my moves
Mm.
because as a creative, you're not even sure if that move would work.
Mm.
I would rather fail myself than fail somebody else. And when
Yeah,
I say
but
fail
it's
myself,
people. It's not that you are the one telling them now. It's people looking at you, because people look at you. and they just
It's
think
fine.
kí
It's fine.
lọ̀gbẹ́ni
It's
yìí
okay
ṣe
for people
yìí,
to look at
eléyìí
you,
ò
but
eléyìí ò ṣé lè mọ ohun tó ń ṣe ṣá.
it's fine. That one is normal now. Even if you're not a creative, that one is normal now, my brother.
Hmm.
Even if you're not a creative, that one is normal. People would always talk about what everyone's doing, right?
Hmm.
What me I'm saying is, as a creative, it's also trepid waters. You can't. It's not a joking stuff, because the stuff you come up with. Imagine Bill Gates saying, "Oh, I want to build a computer that has microchip." Come on now, it's not some. It's not something that the common mind can comprehend.
Hmm.
So it's either you just execute and let them talk about your execution, versus as you are birthing the idea, you start sharing and saying, "Hey, come, I have this idea. So for the next 3 months, project Imofere work on Lele." The laughter go too much now.
Hmm.
So do it, fail at it. I owe nobody no explanation. Maybe I'm covering my bills and I'm just covering the basics. How is my process affecting you?
Hmm.
You understand?
Hmm.
Because I'm very particular about my time, and as creatives, the morning hours is very precious to me. I'm not
Hmm.
going to speak on behalf of creatives. Have different hours. Some people are night owls, some people are day owls. But me, 3 a.m. to 6 7 a.m. is my little creative time, even from 1 a.m.
Hmm.
And I don't sleep much. But I remember telling somebody recently that I don't sleep much. I'm usually up in middle of the night. And then the person decided to call me at 3 a.m. wanting to gist.
Hmm.
But the fact that I'm up at that time doesn't mean I'm available to gist. You understand?
Hmm.
That time as a creative, other people are happy to pick up three phone calls at 3 a.m. Let's be talking about Buhari, or we'll talk about Boris. But creatives, that time, we're too selfish with our time for me to be chatting about nothing at that time.
Hmm.
So for me, those are the times that I'm usually with myself, understanding what project I'm about to work on. If you ask me what project am I working on, I will give you a very nice summary, but by no means would I go into detail, because it's too precious to me for you to tell me, kini gbogbo yẹn na kò ní work now. Shebi
Hmm.
Serena Williams too. Shebi Serena Williams is doing the same thing. Shebi Calvin Klein is selling the same perfume. What makes you
Hmm.
think that your own perfume is one that will sell? Hello,
Hmm.
brother. Thank you. I know Serena Williams is selling, but same thing Chanel is also selling. Why can't I be the next Chanel?
Hmm.
But there would always be naysayers. There would always be naysayers. And I remember talking to somebody who's not in the creative world about my idea once,
Hmm.
right? And the person's response was, "What is the success rate of all these you people, all you creatives, please?
Hmm.
What is the success rate of all these your ideas? You
Hmm.
people keep talking about, oh, look at Bill Gates, look at what was the guy that did the Black Panther movie? Look at the people that did the Black Panther movie. You creatives, you have too much proof to prove that if you carry on this journey, it will work. But you realize the success rates of all this your creative world that you people are going on about is like 1%, or is it
Hmm.
even 2%?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's all well and good to say, "Oh, don't worry, my artwork will sell, my music will sell." But the success rate for all you amazing creatives is very little. So
Hmm.
why do you is one in a billion or whatever? And so the person was like, "I really want to believe in your dreams, oh Yeti. I
Hmm.
really want to believe in your dreams, oh." But same thing with Lewis Hamilton. He's being celebrated now. But do you know how many people want to get into racing, but they wouldn't?
Hmm.
Why do you think you'll be the one to make it? And when you get those kind of questions as a creative, you have to look at the facts. Like, do I want to be that one person that is at the age of 70, they suddenly publish my name and the
Hmm.
queen will now invite me to get an MBA at the age of 70?
Hmm.
Does that make it the journey worth it?
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the
Hmm.
question.
Hmm.
70 years of struggling, that, oh, I will be that one, I will be part of that 1% that will be successful. But then when you now finally make it, you are very frail and you're very tired. Kind of like
Hmm.
Olu Jacobs. Olu
Hmm.
Jacobs that we just saw recently, that he was being
Hmm.
called for an award and he's got dementia. Baba
Hmm.
cannot even remember what is happening and what the award is. So
Hmm.
after all that excellence as a creative, putting in work, practicing day and night, you then get rewarded when night time has come.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
all those hours, was it really worth it? Or why don't you just be normal and live all these dreams? So my thing is, I don't share those ideas because I already know what I'm gonna get. Because they're gonna tell me it's only 1% of creatives that become successful in the end. So there's no
mm,
point.
mm,
There's no point in sharing it. I
mm,
I wouldn't.
mm. Okay. So, and that takes me to this, I would say, final question on this aspect of creativity before we move to the um, entrepreneurial section. For us creative people, the process of creation is our own reward, right? But unfortunately, you can't pay your rent with with that self achievement or self fulfillment or self satisfaction. That's not the currency that is being used in the economy. So, how do we monetize our creativity? So, I'm
Mm,
speaking for myself now because at a point I had to sit myself down and tell myself, guy, this is your weakness. You're just a creative. You're not a businessman. You're too honest with your work. When you want to do anything, you almost go into every single details of cost with your customer because that is who you are. You're not a businessman. You don't know how to cut corners when it comes to quality, excellence, and things like this, which is what business people do to make profit. And then when it comes to after you've done the work and maybe the client is not paying you or things like that, you don't know how to chase payment and all those stuff. And that is why you're good, you're talented, you are this, you are that, but you have nothing to show for it in terms of um, um, money, 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 money. So how do we deal with this monetization? Because at the end of the day, if we can solve this issue, I think that would maybe shut up a bit these naysayers who are going by statistics of, yeah, not many of you are successful. You just do, and at the end of the day, what you get is just you can search and Google your name and they will find it. They give you awards, just wood or some metal that you just put on the shelf and everything like that. But at the end of the day, economically, you don't fare well. So how do we deal with this monetization of our creativity?
I think, and I absolutely love that question. I'm about to prophesy, please. Etaka, etaka. Right. My brother, if we look at the trend at the moment, the world is about to favor, and you heard it here first. Please, can we give it up for the Jagbadanti show?
Uh,
Mm. The world is about to experience a shift in the understanding of how we make money.
mm,
The world is beginning to favor creatives and put into the bin those who've been following the rules.
mm,
So we as creatives have been sidelined forever. But now, if you're not a creative, I'm sorry for you.
mm,
Let's think about it. All this crypto, crypto, crypto we've been shouting. How did it get invented?
mm,
We just placed value. It just literally, if you think about the whole concept of crypto, it's exactly what a creative will do. We sit down, we dream that you know
mm,
what, I will call one naira $1 million.
mm,
I will create a system that will function around the idea that one naira is $1 million.
mm.
And I will push it and push it and push it till everybody believes it. Let's remember this thing is
Mm.
not real. This thing doesn't
It's
exist.
not. It's not, and
Exactly.
that's the main problem we have, because
Exactly.
we're working from a blank canvas, something that
Yes,
doesn't exist. And
exactly.
then
And that's
after
the
you
same.
finish, people come
And that's
around
the
and
same thing
say,
with.
ah, ṣebí kẹ́ kàn ṣe kinní ni, ṣebí kẹ́ kàn ṣe kinní, because what we do is more of mental than physical. So kò ṣe weigh. Téèyàn bá ń gbé nǹkan ní sọ pé okay, for every 1 kg you lift, this is what we'll pay you for 1 kg, for 1 kg
Hmm.
you lift.
Hmm.
But in
Hmm.
our own case, it's abstract. It's something
Exactly.
you can't put a
Exactly.
value to, you can't quantify it. I mean, it's so you call it one amount and they are looking at you like ó ṣeré ní báwo ni máa san kinní kan fún
Exactly.
kinní bẹ́ẹ̀.
So,
And you're wondering, do you know how long it took me? Do you know how many sleepless nights? Do you know how many work are condemned? You know, I don't know.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying, that was frowned upon before, which is, where did you get this bogus figure from as a creative? Why do you want to be paid this much for artwork? Maybe just to put painting on blank canvas. What is your
Mm,
problem? But now we're living in a world where things are being called that don't make sense,
mm,
and people are paying for things that don't make sense. That is
mm,
the new era. We don't need to explain ourselves anymore as creatives.
mm,
And what I'm saying is, if you think about NFTs,
mm,
somebody says one artwork, and that's the question. NFTs, artwork that you can screenshot and get on your phone. People are
mm,
paying $1 million for it. Why? What makes it different from the artwork that somebody is doing in Shomolu in Nigeria? I don't understand. People are literally waking up. I'm not even going
mm,
to say people are waking up. Creatives have been putting a number to their skills for the longest of times, and people have
mm,
always laughed in our faces. Now we are backing up our claim as creatives with technology. And now, after we back it up with technology, which is we put it out there for people to see, we are now gathering momentum, which is fellow creatives are now helping us push the agenda of, we will say this thing is $1 million and you won't argue with us. And
mm,
we'll keep repeating that statement for the next 1 year. And from there, it will now grow in value because we've said it's $1 million. Please, where is the backing that is $1 million? We don't have any backing, but a million people says it is $1 million. So you either believe it or you get left behind.
mm.
That is the world we're getting into. NFTs, cryptos, all these things are just ideologies that have been backed up by a number of people. People are buying into the idea. So you're not getting to a place where you can either work your 9 to 5 and follow the rules,
Mm.
but the person who's the dreamer that you've been looking down on and saying, you know what, this one is not going far in life, that person can wake up, join the creative world from their computer, follow the movement of saying, you know what, this is what I do as a living, put your work out there in all the social media platforms, get your work out there, have a networking group that you are a part of, which is a fellow creatives group, so you're not left out in an island and you're just by yourself. And with that, you're beginning to gain momentum, and people are outly out there who have worked their 9 to 5, looking to spend their 9 to 5 money on your dream. I don't think
Mm.
we've ever had an era like that before, and this is the era, and I think as creatives we should milk it.
Great. I'm rubbing my I'm rubbing my hands in anticipation for that greatness. Right. I'll allow you now to take some rest, and perhaps water or whatever you have around you there. We'll go on a commercial break, and when we return, we will um, go into the entrepreneurship aspect of the show. It's quite similar to this, but in a different um, form, because this one now is broader. It involves business, service, all sorts. You know, so that would affect more people, unlike the first aspect, creativity, that is maybe a bit um, or maybe that captures just a little part um, of the people. So I'll be back. Engineer ṣé o ti sùn ni? Máa ń ṣàṣì.
Yeti's Kitchen, ilé oúnjẹ àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Manchester. Chilled out Afro and English fusion bar with great food, music and movies. Kò sí irú oúnjẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ tẹ́ ò bá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Serving the best fusion of African and English delicacies bíi jollof rice, ẹ̀wà àgànyìn, ẹ̀fọ́ rírò, jerk chicken, suya, ayamashi, goat pepper soup, bọ́gà lóríṣiríṣi àti àwọn ọtí ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe fẹ́ sí ni, eating, takeaway or delivery gbogbo ẹ̀ ló bá wọn lára mu. Oríṣiríṣi ètò ìgbádùn ni wọ́n sì ń ṣe lọ́dọ̀ wọn bíi movie night, live jazz music, game night àti Lego play area for children to relax while you eat. Their opening times are Monday to Sunday, 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Address money, 299 Liverpool Road, Eccles, Manchester, M300QN. Telephone 0161 706 0062 tàbí 074 603 53448. Ẹ tún lè kàn sí wọn lórí email wọn ní food@yetiskitchen.com. For more information, visit their website www.yetiskitchen.com. Yeti's Kitchen, the best Afro-British restaurant in Manchester.
You're right. Thank you very much for staying on the show. If you are enjoying us and we're making brain, not sense now, we're making brain. Mo fẹ́ rí yín kẹ́ máa smash love button yẹn. Inú dídùn ló ń mú orí yíyá wa. Ó yá. Ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí káwọ́lì, ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tẹ̀. Ẹ máa tẹ̀, ẹ gbọ́wọ́lì. Show us some love. Kò easy o. Right, my sister. We move. And this second aspect also, it touched me as well. And I know it touched you as well. And I want us also to talk about it because I know it will touch so many other people listening. Right. Entrepreneurship basically is just you setting up a business with the sole aim of making profit. Simple. Kojubelo. But this is easier said than done because entrepreneurship involves taking a lot of risk. The life of an entrepreneur is I like it to that of an animal in the wild. You have to wake up daily to go and hustle for what you eat on that day. You have to hunt or starve. You kill or be killed. So that is what you are looking at. So for you that is coming from a job of Ogata or Gauta, where at the end of the month, you turn up, you're early to work, you come to work, you sign in, you sign out, and you do the basic minimum they ask you to do. Whether the company makes profit or they don't make profit, the contract you sign is that I do this basic, you give me this. So you're getting paid regardless at the end of the month. But it's the other way around with entrepreneurship. You have to eke out every penny, every pound that will be enough for you to cover your bills and to keep the company in business. That is what you're looking at as an entrepreneur. So we will be discussing basically maybe the challenges and things that you need to know, or and some of the challenges and way out of them. My sister, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. With Yeti's Kitchen, I think that qualifies you as an entrepreneur, as well as other things you do.
Aspiring entrepreneur.
Okay. Upcoming.
Upcoming.
In brief, can you tell us your experience? Ayefele sang
Ex-
about his own experience. Can you wax for us a lyrics of your own experience? Is it smooth? Is it tough? Is it easy? What have you seen so far?
I think it's everything you said. It is sweet, it is tough, it is easy. As long as you've chosen the right thing.
Hmm.
If you haven't chosen the right thing, it will be tough.
Hmm.
And that's why they
Hello?
can you hear me now?
Yeah. We can
Okay.
hear now.
That's why they said one is it 1 in 3 businesses pack up in the first 3 years?
Hmm.
Yes. So if you've chosen the right thing, you've got a high chance of making it past 3 years.
Hmm.
And I think before you even think of entrepreneurship, at least have somewhere you can be borrowing money from. Somewhere, someone, you know. Um, yeah, I think that's important because I don't know if I would have made it this far without somebody I can borrow money from.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just this week, I needed to borrow £2,000 very within 24 hours.
Hmm.
You know, it would be good to know that I had that £2,000 in savings so I could fetch from. But 3 years now into business, and just this week, I still needed to quickly borrow 2,000 that I will return. No,
Hmm.
definitely I would return it. But the urgency of that 2,000, I don't think people that do 9 to 5 would have to worry about. Normally, they have 7 days or 2 weeks to find 2,000. But when you get a
Hmm.
call to say, there's a catering job, quick, you need to go and buy ingredients, we need it delivered, you can't start saying, let me apply for a bank loan.
Hmm.
Tori, it won't happen that quickly, you know.
For the
And if
work.
you don't
Hmm.
respond to clients quickly, they'll give it to somebody else that is hot and can
Hmm.
respond quickly. So the
Hmm.
whole entrepreneurship business is very fast paced. It would be good to know that there's somebody you can quickly borrow money from. It's easy if you find the right thing because it's that ease that will keep you ticking along. If every day is hardship, you will give up, you know.
Hmm.
So you need the ease to happen.
So
Um,
when you say finding the right thing, so it's not this is a warning to people who will, you know, see some businesses, flaunting on social media and showing so much glamour, and they think, what I pay in dancing you, and they go and toribo, thinking that's what everybody's doing. Is that what you're referring to?
I don't get the question.
Okay. I said, when you said finding the right thing, I
Hmm.
said, are you giving warning to people who will just watch some businesses on social media who are flossing and showing so much glamour, and they think, what I pay in dancing, and they too will just go and put head
Mm,
into
mm,
it, and
mm.
it,
In
it,
in in
are
find
those the people you're referring to?
Yes, because follow is typically, and I hate to say this, but we have to be truthful with ourselves.
Mm,
The black race are very consumer focused.
mm,
We consume a lot of products, but manufacturing, producing our own products, that's on the very low side.
Mm,
So when we see there's a new trend, trust me, we are on it,
mm,
even probably quicker than the white race,
mm,
right? So yes, I'm talking about those people that suddenly they see something on Instagram. That's why when it comes to hashtag trend, carrying trends or doing viral TikTok videos, we know how to do follow follow, or we're doing the fufu challenge. Well, we know
mm,
how to jump on those things very quickly. But when it comes to actually challenging to say, you know what, set up a business in 7 days and see if you can start making sales, nobody will follow that trend,
mm,
you know. So yes, those are the people I'm talking about. And in order to find the right thing, I actually put up a video the other day on Instagram Reels. If you're not following us on Instagram, it's on our Instagram Reels. I did a minute because on Reels you can only do it for a minute. I actually mentioned all the jobs I've done. And I think when I calculated all the jobs I've done in my lifetime, I'm very young, by the way. I'm not some auntie, because some people come into the restaurant and they call me auntie. I'm not auntie.
mm,
um in my very small life that I've lived, I've done at least 30 jobs before I
mm.
arrived at Yeti's Kitchen.
Whoa.
So when I got to Yeti's Kitchen after those many jobs in my lifetime, it was easy to know this is the one,
Mm,
versus if I've not tried out, like they say, you need to kiss a few frogs before you
mm,
arrive at your prince. So
mm,
if I just woken up one day, I saw on Instagram that this is the famous thing to do, everybody is like we had a hike when everybody was joining IT, because everybody
mm.
was hearing that 300 pounds a day, 400 pounds a day, every
Abi.
Nigerian suddenly jumped into IT, you know. And then we all know every Nigerian that's coming from every Nigerian that's coming from Nigeria that comes into the UK, first thing they do is care work.
Mm,
So yeah, yeah. So we jump on trends very easily, and MBA is also another one. Everybody in Nigeria wants to get an MBA. Everybody in Nigeria, everybody's African wants to get a PhD. What are we doing with all these MBAs and all
exactly.
these PhDs?
Exactly. Mm.
And then you now apply for work. They say you are too overqualified because the person that's employing you
Ó
only
gan.
graduated from
A
secondary
level
school.
gan ló ní.
Uh-huh. So we
Ọ̀pẹ
all
eléyìí
go and
máa
get
wá
all these
eléyìí á wá
degrees.
gbàṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ mi. Ọ̀gá mi mo
Exactly.
fẹ́ employ yìí.
So you get all these degrees because it looks good on paper, but you don't realize that you're actually setting yourself up for failure, because there's nowhere that you can use it except
Mm,
for the high profile jobs. But the high profile jobs wouldn't give them to you because it's all a niche and all a network. But anyway, let's not
exactly.
get into that. So what I'm trying to say is yes, by all means, to find the right thing, because like I said, entrepreneurship is hardship, ease, fun and games, learning and unlearning. But to get that ease and finding the right thing, you need to have failed at some other things. But if you've not
Mm,
failed at some
mm,
other
mm,
things,
mm, mm.
you wouldn't know within your heart of hearts that you found the right thing.
So
Every day I
failure
question.
is part of the process.
Yes. Every day I question if I should do Yeti's Kitchen. Till now, I still question if I should be doing Yeti's Kitchen.
Mm,
Um, but every day that on the days I find ease, I get confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. So that's what I'm saying, that if every day was hardship, I'll be like, no, 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 this is definitely not the right thing. So I found myself when I was doing IT, every day
mm,
was hardship.
mm.
So then I knew I wasn't doing the right thing. So that's the difference there. Yeah.
Great. Let's quickly look at the various types of entrepreneurs that exist. Many people are not even aware of this. We have, the ones I called the ones called known as coasters. These are the ones that just they're very easygoing. They wait for opportunities to come to them. They don't one need that drive. No gra. They just toba wa over there. Good luck. And then we have the conservative. These are the ones that they're very 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 um, moderate when it comes to using resources, um, you know spending and things like that. We have the aggressive ones. These ones are almost anyhow new. Almost anybody, money almost anybody, but they will do whatever it takes to, to get business, to get whatever they want and stuff like that. Want dajupa, want kala, you know. And then we have the innovators. These ones are just they bring new ideas. They are all about, okay, what is missing in here? How can we, they're all about plugging the gaps in the market or in the industry where they find themselves. So which of these type would you consider yourself to be?
I wish I had the answer. I'm still trying to find out. I'm still trying to find out. And I guess that's also part of being a creative. We don't like titles.
Hmm.
If you want to give a name to it, fine, suit yourself, you
Hmm.
know. But title will not solve my problem as a creative. So,
It's just about getting it done, right?
exactly, let's not put a title to it because that's
And yeah,
yeah.
just getting it done rather than boxing yourself up in this is the only method to go about it and things like that. I get you. I
Hmm.
feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Right. Um I have, you know, few things to share in my own journey as an entrepreneur. Things I've experienced, lessons I've learned, and I've tried to put them together, and I know it will do um, people a whole lot of good. But before I get into that, there's one of it that I'm going to make you talk about. I believe that the statement that a pound is better than zero sales is not always true.
Mm.
Do you believe the same? Do you have to take do you have to take every job? Do you have
No.
to do you have to admit every customer?
Initially,
They would say creatives have to be, have that hustling instinct. You don't turn down sales and stuff. I don't believe that. Am I
mm,
wrong?
mm. Initially, when I started business as Yeti's Kitchen, I accepted everything,
Hmm.
and that worked for me, and it still works for me.
Hmm.
Good. So, accepting everything that flies in the planet can work for you sometimes because through being open minded, oftentimes leads you to your gold mine.
Hmm.
Yes, but I dare to say the Holy Spirit has helped me learn what to turn down and what not to turn down. And
Hmm.
I think in your words, you say Uri Yomi,
Hmm.
because there are some times I have a nudging. And if obviously we are talking about people that are not religious, I sometimes get that nudge that this customer is not all right. Don't deal with
Hmm.
this person. And I just say no. I will be an entrepreneur. Customer is always right. Every opportunity that comes knocking, you must at least respond to the email. I tell myself that in terms of what is right professionally, and then I get bitten.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, why didn't you just listen to that nudge that told you this person is not all right? You know? And
Hmm.
then it's a very costly mistake. It
Hmm.
would have been less costly if the person assumed that my business is unprofessional. It would have been less costly if I got a bad review versus the emotional and mental turmoil that
Hmm.
I will face because um I responded to the person.
Hmm.
Are you seeing what I mean? Now the person
Yeah.
can screenshot it. Now the person can take it to Bella Ninja. The person can take it to Lika and Linda Ikeji to say, look at the response. So versus if you didn't respond at all, the person has got nothing on you.
Hmm.
I remember a time. I remember a time that there was a lady that left a review to say blah blah blah. I didn't like the food, whatever. And as usual, we as creatives always tell ourselves, sleep on it. It's not every
Mm.
dog that barks that you answer. Sleep on it. And if you're still angry about it in the morning or whatever, then by all means put your email together and respond.
Mm.
But by the time I even woke up the next morning, where she left a review on Just Eat. By the time I woke up the next morning, she carried this another lengthier review, a longer paragraph. She carried it to TripAdvisor.
Hmm.
So by the time I now saw that this one carried it to TripAdvisor, the parable that our forefathers told us is, do not argue or do not fight with somebody who has nothing to lose.
Mm. 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 Mm.
You have a business that you're trying to build. You have an empire you're trying to build. You have so many a legacy you're trying to build.
Mm.
The person that is doing keyboard warrior, that is writing 2 lines on Just Eat, when the person saw that he did not respond in 24 hours, they now took it to TripAdvisor to write 15 lines instead of 2 lines that they wrote before, to expand on their disgruntledness. You can see the person has nothing to lose, whilst you have everything to lose. That's why the
Mm.
person is broadcasting it in different platforms,
Mm.
which is fine. So my thing is, the person was angered to say, I wrote a review yesterday, the restaurant did not respond, so I'm here to write a more extended review. I'm like, really? Like, do you think I have nothing else to do than waiting every night at the end of the close of business to refresh reviews and respond to you immediately? And then most recent one, I must talk about this because I don't want to spend too long on answering your question. Most recently, somebody approached Yeti's Kitchen to say that they are selling crayfish. My
Mm.
brother, it's been a year later now. It was last year, December, they approached us to say they are selling crayfish. I understand you sell Nigerian food. We can be supplying you with crayfish. My brother, I can tell you for 3 months after we're supplying crayfish, we bought from the person. It started leading to threats, my brother. Your stupid business. You say you buy more crayfish from me. Why you not buying more? You're a broker's business. My brother started coming to Yeti's Kitchen, breaking down the door of Yeti's Kitchen.
Uh-uh.
That's what I'm saying.
Is it by
All
force to
from
buy?
all from crayfish, my brother. All from crayfish that we bought. And then you came back the next day, you say you want to sell more. We say, bros, business, everything, land, crayfish. We have other things that we are doing. And then I was like, no, what do you mean you are not buying more? I've already gone to order more from Nigeria, so you need to pay me for the more I've ordered from Nigeria. Bro, you must have other customers. Go and sell to your other customers now. Oh, you people are brokers business. My brother, for 3 months of our lives, he kept calling our phones, kept smashing the door. He would wake up early in the morning. Oh, I ride bicycle. He would ride his bicycle, come and break down the door of Yeti's Kitchen that we must buy more. So as you can see, for him to be driving bicycle, you can see he has nothing to lose
Mm.
from
Mm.
the whole ordeal. Whilst we
Mm.
had everything to lose, because if customers are seeing somebody in front of your shop breaking down the door, shouting and effing and blinding, nobody wants to walk into your restaurant because they would assume that, oh, it's one of those African businesses.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to say is that's a business. And trust me, I had that nudge that this person is not all right. Don't buy
Mm.
crayfish from this person. Go to a
Mm.
fellow business because, like you can see, this person is an individual that
Mm.
approached us as a business.
Mm.
I had that nudge that, you know what, do things properly. Go and buy from your normal business to business, B2B. Buy your crayfish from there so that if anything goes wrong, you carry
Mhm.
yourself to court, you know how you want to handle it.
Mm.
But as a individual to business, where do you start from? You paid him cash for the
Mm.
crayfish. Where's the
Mm.
proof of transaction? All
Mm.
that thing gets me. So since then, like I said, once I have the nudge that, you know what, take a step back.
Mm.
Don't accept business from this person, or don't do this, don't do that. I do take the step back because nothing is in a rush. Not
Mm.
you don't rush things.
Mm.
And so that's what I'm saying. So initially, every business that'll come knocking, I'll be like, you never know where this business can lead to. I'll be feeling so pressured that I'm turning down customers, I'm turning down offers. I'll feel
Mm.
bad that I'm not serious with my life. I'm saying
Mm.
I want to be successful entrepreneur, but I'm not responding to certain emails. But that's what the world teaches us that we should be. But
Mm.
wisdom teaches you that it's not every dog that you respond to. So yeah.
Great. Great. Thank you for that. Before I go into um my own point that I want to share regarding this discussion, let me ask you this final question. Of course, you mentioned that you are an aspiring entrepreneur. So I take that to mean You're still early in the business, but
Hmm.
you know you've gone past that stage of should I start, should I not start, blah blah blah. No, you've gone past. You're really in it, and you're not you've gone past the crawling stage. Maybe you are now starting to take steps and walking and staggering and stuff like that. But what is your best advice you would give to anyone aspiring? This is somebody that hasn't started now, aspiring to be an entrepreneur.
I don't know. I don't know. Many of the
But what
opportunities
advice
I've
would you give
gotten.
yourself now that you've
I,
tried some things? So
mm,
maybe I should frame that
the
question like
advice I'll give myself is keep going, because many a times we want everything mapped out for us,
that. Mm,
in terms of, okay, oh, in your 3 years of business you have 1 year of hardship, in the second year you will have a bit of flourishing, in the third we want almost like a soothsayer to tell us how the future would go.
mm,
I'm very much like that. I'm not adverse to hardship, but I
mm.
want to know how long hardship will be for a job. Please, let it not be forever. If I know it's 15 years of hardship, I will do the 15 years of hardship, knowing that it's only for 15 years.
Mm.
When Abraham was told that you will have a son, he at least had confirmation. You understand? He at least had confirmation that, okay, you have a son. It will take long, but you have a son. And
But he
then he
didn't know as
rested.
well. That's why I told Shetun she
So,
kini mole
but
to
at
fi bí
least he
Ishmael.
had confirmation. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
but náà ló ní confirmation pa máa
No,
blow now.
nobody has
You're not
confirmation, my
giving the
brother.
date.
That's what I'm saying. That it's only one in a billion creatives that actually make it. What will solve our problem as creatives is getting confirmation. If we get confirmation that, my brother, you'll be one in that billion creatives that actually makes it, I will keep at it then.
Yeah, but the issue is life is not structured that way. We're not told
It
the
should
day. Tó
be.
bá sọ
It
fún wa
should
pọ́jọ́
be.
báyìí ló máa blow ni. Everybody will just stay in
No,
their
no,
house
no, no,
every day.
no,
Wọ́n á máa ṣí
my brother.
kàlẹ́ndà ni. Wọ́n á máa ṣí
No,
curtain.
my brother.
Okay,
No,
another day. They won't do nothing.
no. What me I'm saying is, I'm not asking for the date. That's not. I'm not asking for the date.
Okay.
We need to know before we start this creative journey that, hello, uncle, ṣé mo máa blow àbí mi ò ní blow? If you tell me say I go blow before I go die, no problem. Every day, one day at a time, we'll be taking it. But that lack of confirmation, is what kills it.
Uh,
You see what I
uh,
mean?
uh,
So what I'm saying is, what I would tell myself is, the future is looking bright,
But the journey is uncertain.
but the journey is very uncertain.
Uh,
But I can imagine many creatives are in a place where there's no future looking bright,
uh,
but they just have how they normally ask with Oprah Winfrey. She'll say she just had a feeling. They'll ask this person, they'll say they just have a feeling. Hello, all of us have feelings now. Which one are we meant to rely on? So what I'm saying is, there's so many things that have happened this year, 2021. This year, I got my big bass boost the most. Yes. But in that big bass boost, I skyrocketed above what my dreams were. Right. So what I'm trying to say is, even in just this week, where Yeti's Kitchen got to, I would never have imagined it on the day I was born. Normally you imagine business in terms of, okay, this is how my business will be on the day you birth your business. The blessings that came my way this week surpassed my dreams from my moment of birth. How much more my dreams in line with my business. So what I'm saying is, if I knew that what happened this week will happen in year one, I won't be complaining. I won't have been beg your pardon. I wouldn't have been soliciting for confirmation from friends and family to say, oh, do you think it's a good idea? So yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for that. Before you leave, I want to run through this. um, so that we'll wrap up the show together. So, for people listening to me or that will listen after um, the live session has ended, this is you know the truth I've been able to put together um, by myself. You know, considering my journey so far in this world of entrepreneurship, and I think what I'll share tonight would help people who are on the journey, about to start the journey, to fix up one thing or the other. So you have to realize that the journey is uncertain. It's tough. You wake up every day, you don't know what the day holds. You just hope for the best. And then you go out there and go and find that best. It's you that will go and find it yourself, and you hope to return alive and not Baugulo. So with this understanding, so you should know that before you start, you must have a plan B. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket of entrepreneurship. You must have a backup plan. And while you're at it, you must have multiple streams of income. You must have second, third, fourth streams of income. Now, another thing is when making decisions, business decisions, start thinking like you don't have money to spend on that project. Think like you're on a zero budget. This will bring out the creativity in you. Even if you take a business loan, you have a loan. Don't just throw money at things, because it's not everything you spend on that brings back returns. So you must think creatively. The question I ask myself all the time is, how else can I do this? If I don't have money to execute a project, that doesn't mean I shouldn't do it. Then I start thinking, how else can I do this? And then ideas will come. So I don't always go by the rules set by all these business analysts and everything like that. I figure out things. I work out things as it suits me. So another thing is avoid taking high interest loans as startup. The pressure of running a sole business is enough to kill. So when you go and take high interest loans and you think the business will perform well to repay, or to set up RF for a failure, and this is what kills many startup companies: loans. Then work on product and service improvement more than anything else. All this glamour, spending heavily on advert when your product is trash, it's not going to take you anywhere. That's what people are paying for, not your image. Image is good, but after that, when they get your product and end up in the bin, they won't return. So you have to do whatever it takes to continuously work on your product and service more than anything else. Work with your heart, but make decisions with your head. It took me a long time to realize this, because like I said earlier, I'm just a creative. I just want to do. So half of the time is my creative instinct that is leading me in making decisions. I lose my head and I let my heart decide. No. Work with your heart. When you work with your heart, you're pouring passion into it. You're putting your best into it. You're putting tears and sweat into it. But when you're making decisions, you have to use your head. Don't let emotions becloud your judgment. Now, another thing is maintain low overheads. Many people want to start, they go and rent fanciful office, they go and start doing all this falafolo. owó máa tàn. Business tó ń ṣe tí ò guarantee any returns or profit on investment. So you have to keep your overheads low. You have to understand that overheads are bills you pay regardless of whether you make profit or you don't make profit. They are constant. So you must ensure that they are at a level that you can cover by yourself. So build a business model that keeps your overhead at the barest minimum. If you can't afford an office now, work from home. Work from the boot of your car. If you don't have anything that requires people to come to a fixed location, then set up a mobile model of business so that you can move around as convenient for your client. And that removes, like, for example, rent from your bills. You remove rent, you remove utilities and all, business rate and all those things. Also, don't hire an extra hand. When I mean extra hand, I mean a staff. If you can barely pay yourself, you start a business and you think you are doing too much. You first fẹ́ máa ṣọ̀gá ìwọ náà fẹ́ máa kẹ́sẹ̀ sórí tébù ó lọ ń gba ọmọ staff kan. Tó bá ti wá bèrè owó oṣù wa máa kanra. Àpawó. Ta ló ránṣẹ́? So if you cannot even pay yourself, don't hire a staff because you can't pay them. Hold off any personal gratification or pleasures until you are sure you deserve it and the business can afford it. So àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ business kíákíá, wọ́n ti fẹ́ sáré ra mọ́tò, wọ́n ti fẹ́ sáré kọ́lé, wọ́n ti fẹ́ ṣe. No. You have to delay gratification and help the business to stand well on our feet and ensure that, yes, you can actually afford these things. Kì í ṣe kó máa fi owó tó yẹ kó fi run business, owó client tó yẹ kó fi ṣe iṣẹ́ wọn, kó fi ṣọjà wọn, kó lọ máa fi ṣe deposit ọkọ̀. O fẹ́ máa gun mọ́tò, o fẹ́ máa wọ nice aṣọ, o fẹ́ máa ṣe fàlàfòlò. But the business can't even afford those things. So you have to delay those gratification. I have to reward myself. No, delay it. Let the business grow before you put pressure on it. So forget glamour. Focus on product and services. I'm just reinforcing that. Know or learn the core of your business. This is very important. Tó bá jẹ́ pé iṣẹ́ yẹn náà máa sọ̀bẹ̀ out ni, you must at least have a knowledge of the core of your business. Otherwise, ọmọ foul ni o. O gbé gbági tán pátápátá nìyẹn. So don't lay your hand on a business that you don't know about. O kàn rówó kan, wọ́n ní wá ṣe investment lórí property, ìwọ náà lọ larí mọ́ property. Do you know anything about property? Do you have the temperament to even run that sort of a business? Do you know what it takes to build and let? Do you know how long it will take you to recoup your business? Do you know what goes on in terms of property business and all those things like that? So any business you go into or you want to set up, ensure that you know or learn the core of the business. Even if you are subbing it out to other people to do on your behalf, you must understand what they're doing. Never ignore reality. It doesn't mean you're negative, because there's so many motivational speakers out there that will tell you always be positive. Don't think that way. No. You must never ignore reality. There are so many businessmen or business people that are living in a fantasy world. They start believing their own lies. Running a business is not about fantasy. Some people make projections and they are spending projected income. Are you the mad? You have to act on reality. Owó tó bá wọlé ló máa ná, not projected income. Client kan ṣe promise pé okay, maybe I will make some purchase. Already o ti kàwé yẹn mọ́ income, o ti ná. That person can wake up tomorrow and say òní other things láti fowó òun ṣe. Ó lè lọ bàjá now. So don't live in a fantasy land. Deal with reality. Don't live on all this fantasy projection. In the year 2020 we make this, in 2021 we'll make this, in 2022 we'll make that, and ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí busy. No, plan but live in a real world. So my sister and I have dealt with this next point, which is the statement that £1 is better than zero is not always true. So never lose the sight of a bigger picture. Know why you set up your business, and any customer that you find, you have to be sensitive, that would ruin the bigger picture for you, regardless of whatever amount you hope to get from their patronage. You have to reject it. Focus on the bigger picture. Má jẹ́ kí tọ́rọ́kọ́bọ̀ kó fà ẹ́ lápò ya, kó ba gbogbo image business ẹ jẹ́. So it's better to turn down some customers politely than to accept their devaluing business or devaluing patronage. So there are people I've given like discount to when I was, setting up business with them. And they promised to give me customers or to introduce customers to me, which in all honesty, they did. But the customer they sent to me, they've already spoken to them behind and gave them the price that they should come and speak to me about. I mean, you are devaluing my business. Because I gave you that discount doesn't mean that is how much I want to, run that sales with everyone else. But ó ti lọ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀, ó ti sọ fún pé báyìí nìkan pè fún mi. And they're all coming like that. No, you're not helping me. So àtẹni yẹn o, àtàwọn tó rán wá, everybody, mo ṣá gbogbo wọn sí ṣáláńgá. Mo dey carry on with my life. If there are loopholes in the market, in the system, or anywhere, exploit them. And when I say loopholes, I mean legal ones. I'm not asking you to go and do things that are illegal. I'm not asking you to go and, get into fraud and things like that. But there are always loopholes in the system. There are things that are within, the confines of legality that you can exploit and that would help your business. So you need to find this information. Information is key. Another point is, don't place your hustling instinct above your reputation. Reputation is key. They will always say, business people are hustlers. They have to get it anyhow. They have to enter it. They have to do. Iṣẹ́ tó bá mọ̀ pé o lè ṣe, má gbà á. Just because you have to, you are focused on cash flow, and you can't deliver. But and you think you can, apologies, you should do it. No, you're ruining your reputation. You should make every customer that patronizes you to become a regular. They must be ready to come back. But when your reputation is not good, that business you get from them will be the last. And many businesses also depend on referrals. So if people can't refer you, your business will eventually die. And that's why you must impress people at first time, so that they can speak about your business to other people. That will even save you on advertisement. When people, use word of mouth and recommendation to bring you businesses. Now, be very careful of those customers who would ask for special discount with the promise of referrals. So I've mentioned it. They will bring you customers, they will bring you clients, but they would have told them, this is how much. So you always remember that offering discount is not the only means of attracting customers. We have businesses that don't do discount. They don't do sales. And these are businesses that are built on reputation. They don't do sales, they don't do discount, they don't do offer, they don't do nothing. Cartier is an example of such business. And they still get people that patronizes them. So it's not all about sales, banjo, discount. That's not the only way to attract business. Build a reputable business. Be true to your word. Improve on your service and quality. And people will pay whatever price you ask for. Because they can vouch for your service and product. A good product or service targeted at the right audience will sell regardless of the price. Don't sell at cheap and hurt in silence. Charge what you think you are worth and don't be sorry for it. Allow the customers to walk away if they cannot afford you. Ó better, I always tell myself, ó better káwọn èèyàn sọ wípé ọjà mi wọ́n ju kán sọ pé quality ò dáa lọ. So set the price that you feel your product is worth or your service is worth, and let customers walk away if they can't afford it, rather than you selling yourself short and be crying in silence. Remember, the reason why you set up business is to make profit. So you can't be hurting yourself just because you want customer. Wọ́n máa fi gbogbo ìlọ́kulọ̀ lọ ẹ̀wà máa gbà. Just because o fẹ́ kán ṣáà tó ń po ṣáà tàn kankan. You have to set a standard for yourself. It is better for people to say that you're expensive than to label your product or service as poor. Always remember that it's about the process, not the result. If the results are unfavorably, focus on the positive in the process, which you can build on to become better. This is the same approach you should take when results are what you are expecting. Don't get carried away in celebrating the success that you forget the need for continual improvement. Always stay focused and committed to the change system, which will eventually, lead you to an efficient process that guarantees consistent, extraordinary results. Always think or find something to improve on. Nokia lọ rẹpẹtì ni o, wọn sì mọ́ lónìí o. BlackBerry náà rò páwọn làwọn jogún ayé, wọn sì mọ́ lónìí o. You have to continuously innovate or you become obsolete and die. You are in a world that is constantly changing. So báyé bá ṣe ń yí ní ká máa bá wọn yí o. Ọpọ́n àpàlà gan ó ṣe kí ni, òun gan sún. Wọ́n ti ń dìde kọ àpàlà ń sìn o. Wọ́n ti ń ta gìtá sápàlà o. Ọpọ́n àpàlà ti sún o. Make mistakes, but don't make a habit of them. It's learning, failing is part of the process. But you must complete that process of learning so that you don't keep repeating them. Never operate outside the limit of your competencies. Nǹkan tó fi báyé Sọ́ọ̀lù jẹ́ nìyẹn o. Ọba la yan Sọ́ọ̀lù fún. Samuel la yan as priest. Ìgbà tí Samuel tètè dé, wọ́n lọ bá ń pẹ́ àṣebí ìwọ gan fèdè fọ̀ náà. Ọmọ ìwọ gan lọ àná lọ rúbọ jàre. Ó dẹ̀ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n rán. Wọ́n dẹ̀ fàjọba ẹ̀yà. So never allow people to push you outside your limit of competence. You must understand what you can do what you can do, and then let somebody else take over. I know the extent I can go when it comes to my creativity and things that I do. When I want to operate outside that, I know people that I commit it into their hands and pay them whatever is required, just because I have a certain level of quality that I need to achieve. Má kàn máa ṣàgídí wèrè kan kiri pé ìwọ náà wàá ṣàjókòó ti gbogbo àdé bàjẹ́ ni. Let other people get involved that can help you. And then the last, which is the most important point that I always tell people, is start small. Ọjọ́ tá a bá ga kán là ń kọ̀run o. Ọjọ́ tó bá bímọ kọ́ ló rìn. You have to start small. Never underestimate those little steps that you make. They are important. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa add up. Ìsun tẹ́rẹ́tẹ́rẹ́tẹ́rẹ́ ló ń dodò ńlá o. Má kàn rò pé o fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ o dẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ńlá bẹ́yẹn o kàn dẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí Ralph Lauren bẹ́yẹn. No, o lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ bí Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kéékèèké láti 1967. Táì ló kọ́kọ́ ń tà tó máa fi ráàgì ṣe kó tó di nǹkan tó di lénìí. Look at 1967 till date. it's a marathon, not a sprint. So start small and go them a lo je. Yes, my sister. Are you there?
Yeah, so I think somebody is
Wow.
looking for our trouble in the comment section. No, I'm in awe and I'm laughing my head off here. Sorry.
Okay, where is the person? Well, I see the creative similarities here. You both are looking in the same direction on your profile picture. Alásọtán ni ẹ́. Alásọtán ọ̀rọ̀ ni ẹ́. Gbogbo nǹkan ló máa ń rí.
Prophet, Prophet Ebunoluwa.
That's my younger sister, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's my younger sister. Aboki mi to the corn. Right. We've come to the end of the show, and it's a pleasure to have my sister on the show with me again. I hope you all enjoyed this. We went past the normal time as usual.
As usual.
To use him mobile. Because sometimes, I don't like doing all this part one, part two, and I just, try to cover as much as we can on the same topic and move to next thing because problem no they finish.
Yes,
You
so
know? Right. But before I go, I need to make this announcement. For people who are asking for links to buy the book, I've put the links in the um in the comment. You can just click on it as you find it in the comment section. Click on it, and that will take you to where to make the purchase. Right? You can see the one I posted. See the one I posted earlier. So you can get that, and I'll be posting the other one. That's a link for the African vegan. So the link I posted earlier is for the book how to set up a food business, and this is the link for the African vegan. If you need to buy the book African Vegan, that is the link is in the comment. Just click on it. It will open up the page on your device, and you can make your purchase there. And also for the book how to set up a food business, this is the link. It's also in the comment section, and you can see me privately after the show also if you need the links. But I hope you should be able to go through it from the comment. Right. Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní ohun gbogbo tó bá níbẹ̀rẹ̀ náà máa ń lópin. And with a heavy heart, but with fond memories, beautiful, lovely memories, I have to bring to your attention that the Jabberjantis show contract with Yeti's Kitchen will be coming to an end. So next week Friday will be the last show, and I have nothing but beautiful things to say about Yeti's Kitchen, and especially my lovely sister Yeti. She's a very, very beautiful individual, and I don't need to say much. I mean, for somebody to volunteer to sponsor, such a show that will benefit people. It shows you the kind of heart that she has. So such a person deserves all the praise you can shower on them. You know, such a person deserves only good things to be said about them. And that is all I have for her. Outside this, we have a good relationship. And it's a blessing meeting her. It's a blessing knowing her. And it's also through her that I'm able to meet wonderful people like you, and having the privilege to use this platform to share a little from what I've learned about life. And it's been a beautiful journey so far since February earlier this year that we started. Ọjọ́ kan lọ bí àná ni. So I wish Yeti's Kitchen all the best, and the business will continue to flourish. And I wish my sister Yeti all the best in all her endeavors. And everything she lays her hands on, she will prosper. She will go from height to height. And òkè òkè lẹ́yẹ ń fọhùn, iwájú iwájú lòkè ń bọ́jọ́. You will always be on top. Ní jábọ́ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Thank you very much for giving this platform, and may you also be rewarded by life for this good deed that you've done. It will be recorded for good for you. Kò dẹ̀ sí ní téèyàn ṣe tó jẹ́ àṣegbé, ohun gbogbo ló lẹ́san. And I know you will reap good reward for this good deed that you have done, because it's a good deed. It's a good deed. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much once again. It's a pleasure meeting you. And like I told you privately, I've just gained another sister. And on behalf of everyone on this show as well, I know they all have, good things to say. Tí n bá gbà àwọn èèyàn láàyè láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí àní kúrò ń bí. But I know how they feel towards you. Even when you don't come on the show, they are constantly, showing their love and everything. So gbogbo wa ti dọmọ ìyá, regardless of where life takes us after this, we will always remain one. Thank you very much. We still have one more Friday to go, so people don't think ó ti parí náà nìyẹn. No, a ṣì máa meet lọ́la. Next week. And it's going to be a fun time because we will revisit, everything we've done so far, and also have a deliberation on how to go forward regarding this. And by then also, I would have cleared my head and, be able to tell you the next direction for this show, because I know not many people will want this to end like this. So let's meet next week Friday, and by God's grace, we would know where we go from there. But until then, it's still Yeti's Kitchen moment and time and platform. And it's been a huge honor for me to have this platform to do what I'm doing. And I'll always keep this in the best, where I keep good records. Torí mo ní black book no, but where I keep good records, that's where I will keep what you've done. Thank you very much once again. I'll give you like few minutes to just um give us your last word, because I know maybe you won't be here next week Friday, but if you have anything you want to share with us on the show, parting words, whatever, please, you have the floor.
I think you have the floor, really. Giving honor to whom honor is due. Um, yeah, I'm not one for being brave in the midst of emotional stuff. So I would not want to be professional about something that's been terribly emotional.
Mm,
Um, so no, um, I'm not going to be typical. I'm not going to be very typical about this. It was obviously a very hard decision on our part at Yeti's Kitchen, but we had to think business.
mm,
We had to think business in the decision. Um, you have been phenomenal, not 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 taking anything away from you. I remember approaching you about the idea, and as a creative, you had to go think on it.
mm,
So I know money isn't a factor in you doing what you do, and that also speaks for why you're also creative. Um, and we also chose you not because of money, but because of the excellent talent that you have. Amongst many. You're a great uh, host. You're a great speaker. You're a great inciter. I came up with that word. Yes. um, yes, and I remember when you said to me that after this show you would announce that the contract coming to an end, and I was like, no, I don't want to be here when the announcement is being made, because it's one thing to say, okay, contract's coming to an end, and that's just a professional thing to say to you in private.
mm.
But I don't want to be here when you make the announcement, because it's easy to type these things, like they say, keyboard warriors. It's easy to type these things that okay, from henceforth, I'm sending you an email, let the contract come to an end. But it felt like a part of Yeti's Kitchen was leaving, is not even was, is leaving. Your impact in Yeti's Kitchen is by no means something that can be filled by anybody else, or in the sands of life. You've put your footprint in Yeti's Kitchen, and I definitely am sure that nobody else would do what you've done. You've made your mark, and I'm totally excited for the future. I'm totally excited for the future. As creatives, I totally know, or what I say, I've had a glimpse. I don't know. I've had a glimpse of what the future holds for you, and I'm hoping you would grasp what the future holds for you, because yeah, sometimes imposter syndrome is our best friend as creatives.
Mm, mm.
But I'm totally excited for what the future holds for you. Um, and I'm hoping that you take the bull by the horns. But yes, from the adverts that you did to the jingle that you did, none of it was like I said, I only gave you a blank piece of paper and you came up with an NFT plus Bitcoin plus anything plus everything joined together. I only said I just wanted a radio show host, but before we knew it, every single week you'd send in videos. Every single week you were editing videos. Every single week you were coming up with titles, because even just those titles self, I'm always asking myself, if I was a pastor, I wonder how I'll come up with titles. But it's not beans. Just the titles of the show itself is not beans, because where do you get the titles from? So that's when I know that we're dealing with a very peculiar human, because regardless of how creative I am as Yeti, I can't come up with that many titles. So that's why myself and my PA came up with actually putting episode numbers
Mm.
on
Okay.
the, because initially it was just titles in the beginning. But we're now like, let's see how many episodes can this guy come up with, you know. And then before we knew it, we started going to episode 40, like play. Episode kilo shelle. This guy does not end, you know. So yes, I desperately pray for you that the well that you draw from would never run dry.
Amen. Amen.
We've never had any reason to regret bringing you on board the show. So if the contract's coming to an end, it's not because of regret. And if there's any regret, it's basically wishing we could still have you on. But trust me, there's no regret in terms of we should have given somebody else the role. It shouldn't have been you. No, the only regret is we could keep you. We wish we can afford you. I think that's a better way to do it, because you're so loaded. You're so loaded, and we want to be a multinational so we can come back to you and say, you know what, bro, the kind load they carry. We don't bring phantom. We don't bring spaceship, so we go feel catapult the kind of thing we they carry to where we think it should be. So we as a business, we're hoping we can expand so we can cater better to the amazing talents that you are. So how they say, you know how they say, you cannot put new wine in old skin.
Mm.
Um, as a business, we're expanding at the moment, and we wouldn't want to be in a place where we take your talent for granted. So we want to create space internally and create systems internally that would help us go further for longer. And that's where we see you in terms of you're just amazing. And this is away from Yeti's Kitchen. Away from Yeti's Kitchen, you've been a brother, you've been a counselor, you've been my go-to person. Um, yeah. Myself and my husband have had a few arguments because of you, even if you didn't know.
Oh.
But yeah, that's what I mean by you've impacted so many people's lives and you don't even realize. And that's what I'm saying, that to you it's just a, I'm not saying it's just a show. To you it's a show and you're putting your 100% into it, but what you don't see is the ripple effect. Positively the ripple effect of what you do. And I'm just putting it out there that the ripple effects are amazing, the ripple effects are positive, and by God's grace, what the future holds will definitely make our paths cross again. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. And I'm hoping by then, like they say, today price no be tomorrow price. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that when we find you again, it's definitely in a better place. And by God's grace, we would have broadened our horizons to be able to fit the amazing talent that you are. But thank you very much, sir. You've been amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my people. Please help me show some love to our beautiful sister, Yeti. Um, she's currently working on some serious music, and trust me, you will see a different side to her. Tí ẹ náà bá jáde, a máa jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ gbọ́ bó ṣe ń lọ. So, thank you very much once again. Thank you everybody for your time, for your patience. Ojú ò ní ti ẹnìkankan nù wa o. Ìbàjẹ́ ayé ò dẹ̀ ní kàn wá. Like I said, we will meet again next week Friday. and from then we would know where we're heading. Thank you, my sister. I can release you now. I've taken you a bit into the midnight. I know you are kerosene, you don't sleep. But let me allow your kerosene to go and do other things, even if you are not sleeping. Right. And my regards to your husband and the family. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Right, my people. Thank you very much for those of you who stayed all through to the end. Go easy. Thank you for not abandoning me in the middle of the show. It's a pleasure to have you all guys. Our party next week Friday, and we will take it on from there on. Oníyan ṣe ọlọ́kà ṣe ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mi fìfẹ́ jẹ́ náà mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín o. Thank you very much and have a wonderful night. Ó dàárọ̀.
Ẹbí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí lẹ́yìn ló wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ẹbí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí lẹ́yìn ló wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ẹbí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí lẹ́yìn olùwà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ẹbí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí lẹ́yìn olùwà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Aṣọ pẹ́ ó ṣeun láyé, aṣọ pẹ́ ó ṣeun láyé, àwọn aṣọ pẹ́ ó bá ló ṣeun bàbá, àwọn aṣọ pẹ́ ó bá ló ṣeun bàbá, mẹ́ta lọ́kọ̀ bàbá ó ṣe ló ṣeun bàbá. Aṣọ pẹ́, aṣọ pẹ́, aṣọ pẹ́ ó ló ṣeun bàbá, àwọn aṣọ pẹ́ ó bá ló ṣeun bàbá. Títí lẹ́yìn lọ́lọ́wọ́ kan wá náà. Títí lẹ́yìn lọ́lọ́wọ́ kan wá náà. Ó ṣé o bàbá, ó ṣé o bàbá o, ó ṣé o ọmọ o, ó ṣé ẹ̀mí. Mẹ́ta lọ́kàn máa ṣe ó ṣé o bàbá. Ẹ̀bí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí lẹ́yìn lọ́lọ́wọ́ kan wá lọ́wọ́ ní. Ẹbí ní sẹ́ẹ̀rí ìtumọ̀ èyí tí ń ṣe títí dé ìlú àlọ́wọ́ dé. Obey daddy for my son, obey daddy for my son, obey daddy for my son, obey daddy for my son. Obey daddy for my son, daddy for my soul, daddy for my soul, daddy for my soul. I want any, I want